edition of WeatherScope is sponsored by Genuine Chevrolet, the cars most Americans trust.
This is WeatherScope.
You're waking up to scattered showers along the northwest coast this morning. Good morning and welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Marshall Cease. Snow and ice machines getting cranked up for a wintry mix tonight in the Midwest. While it's only light snow for the most part for the morning commute in the Northeast, Boston, it's been snowing there for about an hour now. Yep, it shouldn't accumulate though, but you're getting some ocean-enhanced snows. Let's take a look at the satellite picture first. The reason for that is that big storm system out in the Maritimes. It's cranking up, deepening, getting stronger, and as it does so, winds are whirling out of the north and just to the west of north, which is a perfect trajectory for Boston coming out of the Gulf of Maine. And lake-enhanced snow is what you're seeing out there, and that could go on for the next couple of hours. Allentown, Pennsylvania, was getting some moderate snow at the last hour. That's about the heaviest snow in the interior sections we've found, except for the snowbelt locations of Lake Erie and Ontario. Still under a lake effect snow advisory for Geauga, Lake, and Ashtabula counties. Ashtabula County's gotten 6 to 8 inches of snow overnight, about 1 to 3 additional is expected. And across Lake Ontario, getting some lake effect snow too. So if you're traveling the New York Thruway out of Syracuse out west, expect those roads to be slippery. Got some lake effect snow over the lee side of Lake Michigan this morning too. You can see it here on radar in New York, and look at the heavy rain over and down East Maine. The expectation here under a winter storm warning, by the way, is a possibility of 6 to 8 inches of snow. Out in Michigan, Traverse City, down through Muskegon, over to Benton Harbor, lake effect snow here too. Also around the Leelanau Peninsula and Marquette getting its dose right off of Lake Superior. Meanwhile, 34 degrees at Boston, 34 in New York, and 34 degrees in Washington, D.C. A lot of fog earlier today. This is beginning to lift now. Florence, South Carolina had zero visibility about 4 hours ago, but now it's fine to travel. Some of the mountain roads, though, could be a little slick. We've had some reports of black ice in West Virginia and Virginia, up around Elkins, West Virginia, due to the fog, light rain, and light snow overnight. Atlanta's finally warmed to 31 degrees this morning, Jacksonville to 42, Charleston to 41. A lot of sunshine out here. It's been a commodity that hasn't been seen very much over the last week or so. And now for the West, here's Viv.
Well, I tell you what, you're not going to escape the rain along the west coast as one system moves in. A second is coming in from the Pacific. However, snowy conditions are beginning to ease a little bit over the mountainous areas. People in Salt Lake City this morning are being greeted by the snowy covering left from last night. Though it looks like it was a lot, we only had official reports of about an inch at the airport. Heavier snow fell in the neighboring mountains, but that storm is moving on as warnings for the Wasatch Range have been canceled so far this morning. You can see that system as it swings across the Intermountain region, mainly east of Utah. We do have snow, though, widespread from Casper, Wyoming, up to Kalispell, Montana, Craig, Colorado, reporting some snow, Lyman, Colorado, too. And we're beginning to see moisture spread out across the Dakotas. Rapid City, South Dakota, reporting freezing rain this hour, and we have snow around Williston. So it's starting to move across the plains as we speak, and it's going to be even more so widespread as we go through the afternoon and evening hours into Nebraska and Iowa and west central Illinois. It's mainly rain along the coast here with that onshore flow. It's still quite damp for the Olympic Peninsula, the coastal areas of Oregon, and you can see here just the fringes here, the coast of central and northern California. Snow we'll find in the Cascades, even though freezing levels are very high. If you go high enough, though, there you can find 1 to 2 inch accumulations, and there you see your snow from Montana and Wyoming, and then spreading out across the plains into the upper Midwest. Northeastern Nebraska, snow could be locally heavy. 3 to 6 inches are possible. So definitely a little treacherous here as we go through the afternoon hours. If you have travel plans along Interstate 80, I-35, north and south through Iowa, prepare for snow-covered roadways as things will become ugly as the day wears on. Now we do have southwest winds out ahead of our low-pressure system here. Winds in excess of 25 and 30 miles an hour have been reported this morning, so very blustery across this region. Cold air definitely in place, so as that moisture swings across, it'll definitely fall in the form of snow, much of Iowa. Overnight tonight, that snow will be pushing into the Chicago area. So widespread snow across the Central Plains. If you're traveling throughout this region, prepare. It will be a little rough for you. You can see Interstate 5 mainly north of California. It's wet, but the southern parts of the Golden State, maybe a few sprinkles, but nothing very heavy. The southeast drying out. If you're traveling the Interstate 95, say from down east to Maine all the way to the mid-Atlantic, the southern Atlantic coast, no problems. High pressure really keeping it dry in the area. But it is this area of low pressure that will spread out across the Central Plains into the